Well, what is this code trying to do? The overall function is trying to check if the given number n is prime or not. How do we check if a number is prime? Well, the simplest way is to try and find a factor of n. If we can find a factor, then it's not a prime. That is what this code is trying to do. It's trying to check if n remainder I is equal to 0. So I, in that case, would be a factor of n. In that case, we are returning false. It's not a prime. This fits the pattern of searching until you find something, iterate until success, pattern 1. Now remember, success doesn't necessarily mean return true. In this case, success actually means it's not a prime. We successfully found a factor, which means we have an answer to the original question, is this number prime or not? So in this case, return false is how we declare success. And if we are unable to find a factor, then we return true, it must be a prime. Now, there's some important points to keep in mind. If n is less than 2, we don't even have to check anything because prime numbers only start from 2. So then we can immediately say it's false. And secondly, let's take a look at this syntax. What is the sequence through which we are iterating? Well, this is something that we haven't yet seen. This is a range object. So the way to read this is, we will search in the range of integers starting at 2 up to but not including this value. So it's a little bit like the slice notation where we start at some index and go up to but not including this other index. So this is going to produce a range of integers starting at 2 up to but not including this value, which means only up to n raised to the power 0.5 integer version of that, meaning square root of n. So this will search for all values in the range 2 up to square root of n. And if you think about it, that's all you have to search for to check for a factor. You don't have to search for factors larger than square root of n, because if n did have a factor larger than the square root of n, it must also have a factor smaller than the square root of n, and you would have found that while searching in this range. So there's a little bit more of detail about the range function which you can look up in the Python documentation, but this will search for integers in that range, and as soon as it finds a factor, it declares success, it returns false. If it cannot find a factor, then it says it must be a prime. Let's actually see this code now on Python Tutor.